All right, today we are talking about interjecting questions, something I've never talked about, and I know this is gonna help you in an interview because one of the main problems that people do at the director, VP, or an executive level, they go meet with the CEO, they meet with the board, they're shy, and they're showing up to the interview and they're like, hey, I'm just gonna answer their questions. But here at Executive Career Upgrades and on this channel, we don't leave our success up to anyone but ourselves. I'm answering a question I got emailed to me by Mr. Craig. He said, Tim, I've watched a few of your videos, all very informative, but have a question. You talked about first understanding the hiring manager's needs and challenges. Now, just to recap, that's asking the two most important questions, right? So if you're new to this channel, we talk about the only reason you're on an interview is asking the two most important questions, which is, hey, besides the job description, what are you really looking for? And what are some of the opportunities or challenges at the department? Think about this. It's the only reason you're on an interview, okay? So you gotta ask those questions. So Craig knows that. But he says, hey, I know we need to ask these so we can discuss how our background fits those, right? And that makes sense. He said, my question is though, how do you get that information when the interviewer keeps asking questions, right? Do you first ask about their challenges before answering their questions? He said, hey, I'm just trying to understand the best way to get that information without the hiring manager feeling like you're not answering their question. Craig, great question. Alex, do me a favor, hopefully put that question down at the bottom. What we're talking about today in this video is interjecting questions, and I love that I get to talk to you about this today. And hey, for those who don't know me, my name is Tim Madden. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Executive Career Upgrades. Hey, we are one of the fastest growing companies in the United States, the 48th fastest growing veteran-owned organization. And do me a favor, I haven't said this before, but go check out the Executive Career Upgrades podcast over on Spotify. We've got about 150 episodes of career advice there. So let's get into Craig's question. Now, first, I want to reiterate, if you go on an interview and you don't ask the two most important interview questions, which is like, hey, what are you looking for? And what are your challenges or opportunities? You will not get that position. This is very important. Go check that out. It's in a prior video that I got on my YouTube channel. But today, we're gonna talk really about, Craig, taking control of the interview, okay? This is up to you. I'm gonna get to your question, but you need some context first. Recently, I was on a group call with probably 100 or so clients, and I asked the clients, hey, what % of you have officially been through some type of interview, certification training, where you have a detailed process of how you interview at your company, how it's rated, what the matrix is? 3 people raised their hands. So just know, I apologize on this, but everyone you're interviewing with likely does not have a strategy. So to take control of our career, we have to have a great strategy. In addition to asking those 2 questions, here's what might happen. After you do your intro pitch, they might start hitting you with behavioral questions. HR loves this. Hey, tell me about a time you dealt with a disgruntled customer. Tell me about a time you had a lot of work on your plate. Tell me about a time, tell me about a time, tell me about a time. And you're like, okay, I want to share all this stuff with you, but we're like not talking about the job. What happens is if you do those interviews and you just answer, and you leave, that's not gonna be good. Because someone who went through our program is gonna beat you out. Because we know the only reason people hire people is because they're looking to solve problems, right? Looking for someone to lead that team. So back to interjecting questions. I do my intro pitch. Probably right after that pitch, Craig, I'm gonna go into the first question I'm gonna ask, which is like, I just wrapped it up. I'm gonna say, and hey, Alex, can you tell me, I read the long job description, but can you tell me, hey, what are you really looking for? What are maybe the top 3 key priorities that you're looking for this person to accomplish? Now, if they are asking you a bunch of questions, maybe they ask me, hey, Tim, tell me this. After I answer the question, Craig, after I answer their question, on my last sentence, I'm gonna roll right into, for instance, here's how it would work. They asked me a question, I'm wrapping it up, so I'm gonna wrap it up. And because I was able to implement A, B, and C and do it this way, the department actually saved about 64% of something, right? But right when I say 64% of something, hey, Alex, and I have a question for you too. What are you really looking for in this position? Does that make sense? We have these interjecting questions, which is they're asking me a question, I'm gonna answer it, but right when I'm done answering it, I'm rolling right into this because you have to know, I've shared this with you before. A study was done on LinkedIn 5 years ago. I talk about this all the time. 70% of hiring managers, CEOs were polled, and it said, would you feel comfortable making a hiring decision in 60 seconds? 70% said they would. Then they asked the same people, okay, now you got 15 minutes with the candidate. How good would you feel? 90% said I'd feel good if I got 15 minutes with them. So remember, I know a lot of you think, oh, I was on the interview for an hour and a half. It went so well, Alex. It was only supposed to be 30 minutes, but it was 90. It was amazing. No, listen to me. The first 15 minutes are vital for you. So we need to present ourselves, okay? And we need to get to these questions as fast as possible because it's the only reason you're on the interview. So if you feel you're getting steamrolled by HR, remember, use that interjecting question technique of just answer their question and roll right back into it. And if they say, well, hold on, I gotta get through my questions, you just politely ask, hey, Janet, absolutely understand. Hey, I just have a question though. Will I be able to ask some of my questions before we wrap up today's interview so I can see if this is a good fit for me? Most of the time, it'll be fine. But you have to be careful. Do not be on an interview where the VP or the CEO is talking the whole time and you're like, wow, this is going so good. No, it's not. Think of every single interview like you're the doctor. You gotta diagnose stuff. And if they're just asking you questions all the time, hey, where'd you get your doctorate degree? How long have you been a doctor? It's not really valuable, right? So we have to make sure we're being the consultant that we need to be. And to do that, we're gonna have to ask HR questions, the recruiter questions, and again, if we ever feel we're getting steamrolled, we're going to use those interjecting question techniques. Craig, so I know this will help you. You just have to be prepared to be like, hey, am I just fielding a lot of questions? Let me field one. Let me go ahead and just answer it there. But really, hey, best practice is right after your pitch, roll into, hey, so what are you really looking for? As always, hope this helps. Do me a favor, smash that subscribe button below. We're on our way now to 1,000 subscribers. When that comes, I got just a ridiculous giveaway, so stay tuned for everyone that is subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.